are rising in India. We're now at nearly 4,024 hours, and that's the official data. Deaths should have more than doubled in just 2 weeks if you go by the official data. In fact, in 2 weeks, there have been 31,000 deaths. That's up by more than 200%. Surat's main hospital shuts admissions because they don't have oxygen. Meanwhile, in Delhi, a dog crematorium is now being used for people. Vaccine chaos in states across India, long lines in Mumbai as stock runs out. Most states are not ready to start on May 1st. They say the delay could be up to 1 month, and private hospitals have to return all vaccines. They say they will have no vaccines on the 1st of May. A poll of exit polls shows Mamata Banerjee winning Bengal, but it's a very tight edge that she has. Also, the DMK winning Tamil Nadu. The BJP set to retain Assam, the left Kerala. But more than election numbers, the worry is the death toll in these election states. Families of candidates who died of COVID speak out. A record surge in Uttar Pradesh, yet panchayat elections are held today. There are 2.9 crore voters who are listed just for UP's panchayat elections today. And polling duty, despite being COVID infected, UP unions claim over 135 teachers have died in this panchayat elections. In Bihar, as cases rise, a row over this BJP MLA's son's big fat wedding just this week. And meet India's pandemic heroes, our special report on ordinary Indians doing extraordinary work. Well, let's just look at the daily toll in India, and it is rising. Once again, we've seen a record spike of 3,79,257 cases in the last 24 hours. We'll be touching 4 lakhs soon by this weekend, and 3,645 deaths in India. That means again we'll be at 4,000 deaths pretty much in the next 1 or 2 days. Again, these are just official figures. The unofficial data is much, much higher. Also, 114 districts in India currently have a positivity rate of over 10%. At the current rapid rate of deaths rising, India could cross the 4,000 death mark tomorrow or day after. Sadly, there is no sign of an immediate slowdown. However, what this graphic shows is that deaths began rising sharply in March when there were roughly 170 to 175 deaths a day. In April, just a month later, there are almost 1,500 deaths a day. And now, as we can see at the end of April, over 3,000, almost 4,000. Deaths rose at a pace of about 6%, an average of daily change of percentage. But now, that's an average 9% this month. And let's just look at the worst 5 states as India loses a record number of people to COVID for the 13th straight day, 3,645. It's important to actually see the deaths in the last 2 weeks compared to the 2 weeks before that to get a sense of the trend. And that's worrying because overall India's record of over 31,000 deaths in 14 days is 3 times more than the previous 2 weeks. A look at the worst hit states shows the data behind the horrifying scenes we've been seeing of funeral pyres and cremations overflowing. Maharashtra has seen over 8,000 deaths in the last 2 weeks. That's double that of the previous 2 weeks. But look at how steeply deaths in Delhi have also shot up over 600%. To over 3,800 deaths overall. UP, Karnataka, Gujarat have also seen a roughly 300% increase in deaths. And as many people are saying, people aren't just dying of COVID, they're dying because they can't get treatment for COVID. Our report from one of India's epicenters from Gujarat and from Surat, once known as India's diamond capital, where the main hospital here has actually shut down admissions because they say they don't have oxygen.
Harish Chand Tiwari drove 50 km from Surat into Surat Civil Hospital with his mother attached to an oxygen cylinder. His mother's oxygen levels are 71 and she desperately needs to be admitted.
दिल्ली महाराज चिकली वलसाड़ नवसारी हर जगह पे टपास करके फिर यहाँ आया हूँ, कहीं नहीं मिल रही है।
यहाँ पे क्या बता रहे हैं आपको?
यहाँ पे एक हमारे वो बजरंग दल में है पहचान में, उन्होंने हमको बुलाया है, मैं इसके लिए वहाँ आया हूँ। अब देखो क्या करते हैं।
But oxygen is running low and the civil hospital turns him away. This is a big blow to the fight against COVID. The civil hospital is the city's biggest with 1,500 beds. Almost every hospital in Surat, be it private or government, is full. Hospitals say there's not enough oxygen even for those who are already admitted. If this is the condition of the already admitted patients, what about new patients? Now, out of desperation, Shailesh Kai's sister and brother-in-law have to get oxygen at home even as their O2 levels dip. They live in Bharuch, about 60 km from Surat. Earlier this week, Shailesh's nephew died as he could not get oxygen on time.
मेरा भांजा है, नेत्रंग में 3 था, 3 नेत्रंग में थे और तीनों को कोरोना पॉजिटिव आए थे और मेरा खुद का भाई था, चाचा का लड़का, तो सेवाश्रम में 3 कलाक बाहर ही रह गया, उसको ऑक्सीजन ही नहीं मिला। आधे घंटे के बाद जयाबेन मोदी में ले गए, लेकिन वो आधा घंटे में एक्सपायर हो गया। सूरत में ट्राई किया, लेकिन सभी जगह पे फ़ोन पे किया तो ना ही बोलते, जगह कोई जगह है ही नहीं।
Private hospitals are also slowing down their admissions.
अभी आईसीयू में जो है, वो जो वार्ड में जो क्रिटिकल पेशेंट होते हैं वो ही पेशेंट आईसीयू में आते हैं। डायरेक्टली नए पेशेंट अभी कोई नहीं आ रहा है।
In Surat, there are 2 government hospitals. Out of nearly 700 ventilator beds in both, 650 are full. Oxygen required is 98 metric ton into hospitals, but they are getting only 78 metric ton. Surat requires 230 metric tons of oxygen but is receiving only 150 to 160 metric tons.
Sunday evening we came to know that now there is acute crisis because those of the hospital which were full, all the beds were occupied with the oxygen beds and the ventilator bed. And I came to know from one of the biggest hospitals in private sector around having 375% that oxygen supply is not more than for 12 hours. And the hospital decided to stop the admissions. So sensing this kind of emergency, we immediately gathered together, all the representatives of the bigger hospital we met and we decided that let us bring it to the notice of our Chief Minister. This is the situation.
But the collector told NDTV they are trying their best.
If civil hospital shuts down its doors, then patients from Surat and peripheral areas will have nowhere to go, which will further deteriorate the condition here in Surat. In Surat, with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, this is Purva Chitnis for NDTV.
That's what's happening in Gujarat and across the country. 3 high courts today have asked the centre and the state governments to act urgently on various issues, whether it's oxygen, beds or the supply of essential drugs like Remdesivir and others. This as the health minister today insisted that India's mortality rate was still lower than the global average and also that there was more than enough oxygen.
हमने कहा ना कि ऑक्सीजन पर्याप्त मात्रा के अंदर पहले भी थी और अब तो और ज्यादा उसको सैंक्शन कर दिया गया। अब तो इतने प्रकार के सोर्सेज से ऑक्सीजन को देश में उपलब्ध कराया गया है। किसी भी प्रकार के पैनिक रिएक्शन में हम अस्पतालों की तरफ खाली दौड़े, उसकी भी आवश्यकता नहीं है। जिसको ऑक्सीजन की आवश्यकता है उसको ऑक्सीजन मिलना चाहिए, लेकिन जिसको ऑक्सीजन की मान लीजिए जरूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ उसको जानकारी के अभाव में वो इसी टेंशन में रहे कि मुझे ऑक्सीजन शायद नहीं मिल पा रही है और इसलिए मेरे को कुछ हो जाएगा, ये भी उचित स्थिति नहीं है।
But the fact remains people are dying because they don't have oxygen. Their oxygen levels are dropping majorly, and really the evidence of that is just from our cremation grounds across India. Saurabh Shukla and Neeta Sharma report. Saurabh Shukla reports from Delhi's dog crematorium. It was meant to be a dog crematorium, but it's now being quickly changed to become a cremation ground for human beings. Also, Neeta Sharma from one of Delhi's most famous crematoriums, the Lodhi crematorium, and why they actually have to turn away people because they're just running out of space.
Right now we are standing at Dwarka sector 29. This is a dog crematorium, but now it is being prepared for cremations of people who have died due to COVID. And according to South Municipal Corporation of Delhi, they are preparing a platform for 50 pyres, and you can see these are the platforms being prepared by South Delhi Municipal Corporation. According to Mayor of SDMC, she is saying that it will be operational in next few days because as we say, yesterday the data of Delhi government is that more than 368 people died due to COVID. But according to several municipal corporation of Delhi, the number is above 600. This land was approved last year. It was not operational, but now they have changed the use of this dog crematorium and it will be used for humans. And as of now you can see workers are working to complete this. They have been given a deadline to complete this crematorium as soon as possible. In New Delhi with Ashok Male, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
Civic bodies all over Delhi are struggling for space. In Dwarka alone, as per government records, there are 13 cremation grounds, of which 3 are COVID designated. India's capital recorded 368 deaths on April 28th. This is perhaps the most common sound in Delhi. In South Delhi's Lodi Road crematorium, 8 to 9 ambulances arrive every hour, on average, with COVID victims. But only 3 get cremated. The other families are given a token and asked to return.
व्यवस्था सारी है मैडम, बस ये है कि मरे हुए लोग ज़्यादा हैं, जिस वजह से लोग काम नहीं कर पा रहे, जिसमें से 2 जनों की हमारे बंदों की डेथ हो गई, हमारे खुद के 2 जनों की डेथ हो गई, तो जिस वजह से लोग थोड़े डरे हम लोग काम करने में और हिम्मत ही नहीं है.
Lodi Road crematorium is one of the 18 COVID designated crematoriums in Delhi. As per Delhi government's data, there are 101 crematoriums, 57 qabristans and 5 cemeteries in Delhi. Due to rise in COVID deaths, each is stretched beyond capacity. At the Lodi Road one, there are about 75 cremations a day, twice the capacity. There are many complaints of overcharging.
गरीब आदमी 7-8, 8-8, 12-12 हज़ार रुपये मांग रहे हैं.
एम्बुलेंस की क्या दिक्कत आ रही है?
नहीं, कितने मांग रहे हैं? 8-8 हज़ार रुपये, 10-10 हज़ार रुपये. हमारी हैसियत में 4 हज़ार की भी मांग रहे हैं, 8-8 हज़ार रुपये.
However, ambulance drivers say this is not correct.
लकड़ी देते सब मदद करते हैं, लेकिन जो अपा उड़ा दी है एम्बुलेंस वाले ज्यादा पैसे ले रहे हैं. हमारे पास बुला के ले गए, कौन सा ज्यादा पैसे दे रहा है?
Right now, they are only asking the families to, take adequate precautions and not accompany their dead ones in large numbers. They shouldn't be here in the crematorium, so that this COVID, this virus can be defeated and this chain can be broken. In New Delhi, with camera person Shashikant Jha, this is Neeta Sharma reporting for NDTV.
Well, the only way to defeat the virus is vaccination, but there's now total confusion on what's going to happen from this Saturday, that's May the 1st. And as we can see, vaccination in the last 24 hours have fallen to under 22 lakhs. Now, that's the lowest in 10 days. The average dose per day is 33 lakhs. So, we see a major fall and this complete confusion on what's happening in Saturday already. Vaccines have run out of stock in many cities across India, and more worryingly, private hospitals who are meant to procure from manufacturers have said that they have no way to do this from Saturday, and many states also say they can't begin this from Saturday.
अभी वैक्सीन नहीं है, वैक्सीन के लिए हमने कंपनी से रिक्वेस्ट की है.
जेकर हमारे पास कम से कम भी 10 लाख वैक्सीन आएगी, तब जाके हमारा ये काम स्टार्ट हो पाएगा.
Delhi, Punjab, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Jammu and Kashmir, all slowly running out of vaccines. In Mumbai, long lines outside vaccination centres as people scramble to get inoculated. Never-ending queues of people who are hoping to get the jab before the next phase, which opens it up to the 18 to 44 category. But the additional Municipal Commissioner Ashwini Bhide tweeted, asking citizens above the age of 45 not to panic and cause crowds, that the 18 to 44 age group might not receive their jabs on May 1st as doses are yet to be supplied.
There is already a shortage of vaccine, so once the other age group joins, then there will be still more further shortage, and we don't know when we will get the stock. So that's the reason I was here today.
From the west to the north in Jammu and Kashmir, Ahmed Mushtaq has been visiting this health facility in Srinagar for the past 2 days to take the COVID vaccine, but there are none available.
कल भी है ना, आज भी है. ये कह रहे नहीं जी खत्म है, वैक्सीन नहीं है. पीछे से नहीं आ रहा है वैक्सीन.
100 डोज थे हमारे पास, खत्म हो गई. अभी भी लोग वेट कर रहे हैं, तो वैक्सीन नहीं है हमारे पास. अभी वाला एग्जाम तक कुछ नहीं पता है, वो बोल रहे अभी 4-5 दिन वेट करना पड़ेगा.
On an average, the J&K Union Territory is receiving 50,000 doses from the centre, but the demand has been much higher. So far, only 21 lakh people have been vaccinated in Jammu and Kashmir. In Rajasthan, up to 5 to 7 lakh people can be vaccinated per day. But right now, vaccine stocks are zero.
हमारे स्टेट के जो स्टोरेज है, उसमें जीरो वैक्सीन रह गई है. हमारे अधिकारियों ने सीरम इंस्टीट्यूट में बात की, 3,75,00,000 डोजेज बुक करने का लेटर दिया उनको. वहाँ के अधिकारियों ने जो जानकारी दी कि 15 मई तक तो हम जो भारत सरकार से ऑलरेडी ऑर्डर्स हमको मिले हुए हैं, उनकी आपूर्ति में ही हमारा 15 मई का समय तक तो निकल जाएगा।
Tamil Nadu too has expressed doubts about the vaccination rollout from the 1st of May. They have ordered 1.5 crore doses but are not sure they will receive them in time. As state after state points to the shortage of vaccines, it looks like the big bang start to the vaccination drive will end with a whimper, at least on the 1st of May. NDTV Bureau Report.
Well, the other headlines was the latest in the poll of exit polls. Well, it shows Mamata Banerjee winning Bengal, but it's a very, very tight race, just narrowly ahead of the BJP. The DMK, in contrast, has a clear advantage, seems, according to exit polls, to sweep Tamil Nadu. The BJP is set to retain Assam, though the Congress is a close second. Let's see how that goes. And the left also seems to be ahead in Kerala right now, according to the poll of exit polls. But really, what's much, much more important than these election numbers and the poll numbers is the lives that we're losing currently in our fight against COVID. And this is especially tragic in election states where huge rallies may have led to a COVID super surge in these 5 states, as the Madras High Court said. In Bengal especially, we spoke to families of candidates who lost their lives to COVID.
On one of his last election campaigns, Kajol Sinha, the Trinamool candidate from Khorda, who died from COVID on 25th April. His wife filed a police complaint accusing the Election Commission of his murder. She is not alone in her outrage.
Who will be take the responsibility about my family? Nirbachon Commission ke dai korbo? কাকে দায়ী করব আমি? আমার তো করোনা ইলেকশন করেই যেন আরো এত মানুষের ঘর ভেঙে গেল।
Indrani lost her 35-year-old husband Shubhobroto, a college teacher who was presiding officer on 22nd. He died of COVID on 27th. This college professor, who was presiding officer on 6th April, says never again.
Never again. Definitely not. At the DC and RC, where we were supposed to collect our documents and submit our EVMs, there was utter chaos. There were hundreds of people, and there were absolutely no precautions over there.
An endless tale of human loss in the Bengal Assembly elections, not from poll-related violence. The 8 phases may have capped that somewhat, but from COVID. Now, had the Election Commission clubbed some phases together or enforced COVID-appropriate behavior, then perhaps fewer lives may have been lost. Shadhin Ghosh of Malda thinks so too. He lost his brother Samir, just 42, to COVID on the 26th. Samir was an independent candidate from Vaishnavnagar, is voting today.
আমার তো একটা ভাই মারা যায়নি ম্যাডাম, এরকম কত লোক মারা যাচ্ছে। আর এই আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে ভোটের জন্য এই করোনার যে দৌড়টা রেসটা একটু খুব তাড়াতাড়ি মানে ব্লক করে গেছে। এটা একটু ইলেকশন কমিশনের মনে হয় একটু বিবেচনা বা পর্যালোচনা করে কোন একটা যদি সিদ্ধান্ত নেওয়া যেত তাহলে মনে হয় ভালো হতো।
For Election Commission and most voters, there will be another election next time, but not for those who lost their lives to COVID in the battle for Bengal. With G.D. Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Lives that can never be brought back, and we just don't learn, because in Uttar Pradesh, again, which is going through a record surge in cases, it seemed to be the next COVID epicenter, had voting for Panchayat elections today. Now, surely Panchayat elections are not so crucial that they could not have been postponed for a month or two, but there's a registered, over 2 crore voters actually registered to vote in Panchayat elections, and there were huge crowds in many areas. Though here, of course, they can't see so many, but there were huge crowds across UP as voting happened today, even amidst this COVID surge. But a teacher who was on polling duty actually released this audio saying that she's actually not well. She thinks she has COVID, but still had to appear for polling duty.
मेरी ड्यूटी कलान में उच्च प्राथमिक विद्यालय दसियां में लगाई गई है। मेरी तबीयत ठीक ना होने के कारण मुझे यहाँ पे किसी भी तरह की चिकित्सीय सुविधा नहीं मिल रही है। सिटी मजिस्ट्रेट से कहा जा रहा है, बोला जा रहा है, बोले अभी रुको, और ना मुझे जाने दिया जा रहा है।
This, as the Teachers Union has said, over 135 teachers have died on polling duty, and the Allahabad High Court has asked the UP government for a response. And at a time like this video is actually sickening. Just look at these visuals of the wedding of a BJP MLA's son in Bihar on the 26th of April. That's just this Monday. The Chief Minister hasn't responded to this yet, but you can see many NDA MLAs actually attending this wedding, a huge wedding there without masks in the middle of rising death tolls and rising COVID cases in Bihar. In the midst of all this despair, there's always positivity, and this is of ordinary Indians coming out every day to be real-life heroes. This story of two men who have come out to volunteer to help families who have no one to help them cremate their dead.
फर्स्ट फ्लोर से उतारनी है, हम 2 लोग हैं, सोसाइटी वालों को बोला हेल्प करा तो वो डर रहे हैं। हमारे को ये महसूस होता है कि यहाँ पे किसी आदमी की डेथ नहीं है, इंसानियत की डेथ हुई है।
Back-breaking work, heartbreaking scenes. Pritam Singh and Devender in northwest Delhi collecting an elderly man's body for the last rites. 70-year-old A.N. Yadav died of corona last night after failing to find a bed in any hospital.
बेड नहीं मिल पाया, हम लोग 2 दिन से परेशान हो रहे थे बेड के लिए।
As Pritam and Devender bring the body down, they have no help from the neighbors. Pritam and his team have so far cremated about 322 COVID patients. They don't charge the family. They even use their own ambulance.
तो प्रशासन भी इस पे कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो वो जाके वो बॉडीज हम उठा के क्रिमेशन के लिए लेके आते हैं।
A businessman and a photographer, Pritam and Devender from the NGO United Sikh also take bodies from Muslim families to cemeteries. This is Pritam's message.
जो हमें गुरु साहब ने सिखाया, हम उसी पद चिन्हों पे चलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मानस जो है अवली अल्लाह नूर उपाया कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर ते सब जग उपजया कौन भले को मंदे।
Today in this pandemic, people like Pritam, people like Devender, they are God for those who cannot cremate their own loved ones due to health issues because they cannot. For them they are no less than a God. In New Delhi with Ashok Mahalle, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.